and I'm a recent graduate of Gonzaga University, where I received my Bachelor of Science degree in nursing. I was also recently commissioned into the United States Army as a second lieutenant. Now with the nursing program, you can either start at Gonzaga and go through their School of Nursing, or go to Whitworth and transfer to WSU's College of Nursing, which is just right down the road. So the typical nursing student will start their first 2 years and do all the prereqs before nursing school, such as biology, chemistry, anatomy, and physiology, all the science classes. And at the same time, you're doing all the same things that everybody else in ROTC is doing. Then your junior year, you'll apply to the College of Nursing or the School of Nursing, and you will start clinicals. Clinicals are supplemented with classes as well. So you'll be in class, you'll be in the hospital, you'll be following a nursing preceptor, but you'll also be having your own patients. So as a junior and a senior, you'll be having a lot of responsibility. And at the same time, still doing all of the ROTC curriculum. So the typical junior or senior on a Thursday will be walking around the hospital with a stethoscope around their neck, in their scrubs, taking care of patients. And then in the afternoons, being out in the field, leading a squad on an ambush in their ACUs. It's quite the diverse combination of the both, but in the end, it's all about taking care of people, which I always found really fascinating. ROTC nursing has great opportunities, such as the Nurse Summer Training Program. For example, I went to Madigan, which is at Fort Lewis, about 300 miles west of here, and worked in the emergency room for 4 weeks after LDAC. It was a great experience and something that I wouldn't have been able to do just in the School of Nursing alone. It was just a great opportunity to see what the real Army nursing hospitals look like and what an Army nurse is actually responsible for. Just absolutely great opportunities. Pretty much everybody that I've ever heard from that has gone to one, including myself, has had medics just come to you the first day, throwing their veins at you. Have you done an IV before? You know, here, poke me. So just nothing that civilian hospitals would ever compare to. But even though the great opportunities, there are also a lot of difficulties that we've all had to endure, such as the time commitments to both rigorous programs, ROTC and nursing. But even with all those difficulties, you will refine your time management skills. And along the way, the recurring theme is family. I wouldn't have been able to make it without my family. They were always there for me. So even if they didn't have a hard major, they knew what I was going through, and they were always there for me, and they're still there for me. And at no point will I ever say that nursing in ROTC was ever easy, but I will say it was worth it. Are there any questions? If not, I will be followed by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Shane Barnes.
All right, you guys were such a great audience pretending to laugh at my jokes last time. I always had to come again. All right, so this time I'm going to be talking about CTLT. Yes, another Army acronym. Awesome, right? All right, CTLT stands for Cadet Troop Leadership Training, which is basically Army internship. All right? This gives you an opportunity to shadow a platoon leader, possibly an executive officer, generally a lieutenant. Get to shadow someone who's already in the Army, already has their branch, get to see what they do. So you get to go see how to be an officer for about 3 to 4 weeks. You can't do this until your MS3 year, and generally you have to wait until after LDAC. In my experience, I went right before LDAC. Just kind of depends on when the slots open up, when they can get you in, because it has a lot to do with getting you into the unit and getting to see how the soldiers interact, how the officers interact with the NCOs, things like that. So, like I said, after LDAC, normally, you'll go in and have a lieutenant that you'll follow around for about 3 weeks. There's a lot of different branches you can go to, a lot of different bases you can go to. In my experience, I went to a military intelligence company. It was part of a special troops battalion, kind of a new thing. They combine a lot of different companies into one so that they have them all focused in one area. It was a really interesting experience because it's kind of a new idea for the Army. It was very new for Fort Riley, and I got a lot of experience getting to see how the lieutenant interacted with the troops, how I could interact with the troops, how the NCOs pretty much ran things because they are the backbone. So, some of the places you can go to places like Germany. I went to Fort Riley, Kansas. You go to places like Fort Benning, Fort Bragg. A lot of things are open. It just depends on who's willing to take on a cadet and show them the ropes. You're going to gain experience for officership. Like I said, it's an internship. So you come in, you'll shadow the platoon leader, shadow this executive officer, whatever, but you're going to shadow them and learn a lot about how to be an officer, how to act, what exactly an officer does, because a lot of times it's not the same experience you're going to get in ROTC. Officers do a lot of managing. And I know one of the big things I learned from going to CTLT was actually that officers have to learn how to use their NCOs, because when they don't know how, nothing gets done. So that was a pretty big eye-opening experience for me. Another big eye-opening experience was I wasn't even looking at MI as my branch before I went to Fort Riley. I took on the MI company because I thought it would be interesting, and lo and behold, it was. It's now my top 3 for the branches I want to go into. Really interesting. Had a lot of fun doing it. Got a lot of real-life experience out of it. Worked late hours. I was working until about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night sometimes. Gave up about 2 of my weekends, but still had a lot of fun doing it. And it's not all work and no play, again. I was in Fort Riley, went out with my lieutenant, had a good time. You get to enjoy the area around. I've got a friend right now, Cadet Major Opplinger. He's in Germany. Got to do some traveling on the weekends. Decided to stay there and do a little bit of traveling afterwards, but he got to travel all the way to Germany and get to see things like that. So it'll get you outside of our little community into a bigger world and kind of see what it means to be an officer. Basically, to qualify for CTLT or MS3 year, it's a lot like qualifying for airborne or air assault. Just work hard, be the best. That's what everyone's going for anyways. That's what we want to train you to be, because officers, we have to be the best, all right? So just work hard, put everything you got into it, study, do PT, you'll qualify for it, and maybe you get to go over to Germany or go over to Fort Riley. So, are there any questions? No? All right, I'll leave, followed by Cadet Weaver.
I'm Cadet Tommy Weeble. I'm a junior here at Gonzaga. So what is Ranger Challenge? Ranger Challenge is an intercollegiate competition between Gonzaga and other universities, and it's essentially considered the sport of our ROTC programs. We field 2 9-man teams, our black and gold teams, to compete in a weekend-long competition that typically includes events such as team-based orienteering with map and compass, M16 disassembly and reassembly, hand grenade assault course, 1 rope bridge, and many others. Ranger Challenge is widely known for its physical endeavors through events such as modified PT tests, such as they include extra rigors beyond the traditional traditional 2 minutes push-ups and sit-ups and a 2-mile run. 10K ruck march for time over rugged terrain, carrying a bunch of equipment on your back, and taxing upper body maneuvering, such as hoisting yourself across 1 rope bridge. The other aspect of Ranger Challenge is more technical in nature, where teams have to, for example, assess and effectively treat a casualty and request emergency evacuation, or analyze a terrain model and compile a copiously detailed report of their observations, a la mock reconnaissance mission. We have very dedicated cadre and cadets who will ensure that anyone with the intestinal fortitude required to fight on to the Ranger objective will be more than prepared for the domination of these events. You're sold? Gonzaga is very proud of its track record. We've won for first place 17 out of the last 18 years. And additionally, winning again this year will give us the opportunity to be invited to West Point's international competition at Sandhurst, and that's in New York. So we're very eager and excited for this prestigious culmination of events. Freshmen are fully encouraged to try out for a Ranger Challenge team. If for nothing else, then all the knowledge you'll gain is right here at the beginning of the year. During Ranger Challenge practice, normal cadet rank structure is put aside in lieu of building team solidarity and cohesion. So as a consequence, you'll develop great friendships right here at the beginning of the year, they'll transcend through all your remaining years here in Gonzaga's Bulldog Battalion. And it's a great experience. Granted, you know, you'll make plenty of friends just in your civilian life, as well as, you know, just day-to-day grind of ROTC events. But there's, I think, definitely a certain time of bonding that can only be achieved when, you know, you and your teammates are running along on mile 5 of a ruck march and just totally exhausted and sweating, and you don't want to be there, and just aching, your legs are pounding, and whatever else. But Ranger Challenge certainly provides that. And so I definitely encourage any and all to try out. Our initial assessments are primarily physical in nature. We have a 10K timed run that's coming up 6 days this Friday. And then the PT test, that's on the second Friday of classes. So hopefully you guys are prepared for those. We have practices. They're the focus of our technical training. Practices are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. It is a big time commitment, but don't be discouraged to get 1 college credit for Ranger Challenge to help out your GPA if you need it, and which you might. And it's overall, I mean, it's a great experience. There's typically a very strong freshman turnout, and I think everyone that does so ends up coming away with, you know, just very useful Army knowledge, great friendships, and an overall just great experience. Are there any questions at this time? If not, I will be followed by Cadet Morgan Patty.